Hearts are once again, brethren. Thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful introduction. The truth is, at some point, I'm beginning to get confused. I'm really white and black. Some people call me white man, some people call me black man. Which am I, please? You see? You see? Exactly what I'm saying. Okay. Today is the 5th day of the Feast of Tabernacles. Recollect the first day when I led the song in the afternoon, I said, day 1 is gone. And it will not stop. Before you know it, and I went back home. Today is day 5. Year in, year out, when I personally come to the feast, I come with high spirits, having prepared for a whole year, and then suddenly, just 8 days, you have to go back again and start afresh. Preparation. What I'm going to discuss is literally part 2 of the first split. It's just like a continuation. I would have said Mr. Ogude is still the glance at my notes, but then I won't be able to say so. And I cannot say it. But for the second split, what we'll be considering as the title, remember the big picture. Remember the big picture. Again, when we come to the feast, we come with high spirits because we have high expectations. We will see members that we've not seen in months, at times in years. We'll all come together and be in a particular place that God has chosen for us to be and rejoice, listening to the words from God and fellowshipping with one another, having fun, exchanging gifts, visiting each other, taking so many soup, palm wine, anything, just relaxing, enjoying, and rejoicing before our God. This is it. This is what we have been instructed to do. It is a God-ordained enjoyment. It is a God-ordained relaxation. It is a commandment that we've been told to do. It is a must. And we all know the symbolism of this Feast of Tabernacles. As a matter of fact, all the feasts of the year, we all know that they have their own particular symbolism. But particularly, there is a big picture, and the Feast of Tabernacles picture that it paints, that we all see, that we all know. But as a form of emphasis, I want to let us together run through this picture again, and let's see and remember that there is a big picture. So my message today is this. Before we all turn out, let's get it straight. The Feast of Tabernacles is not a mere vacation. It's not a mere place for enjoyment and relaxing and having fun. There is a big picture. And until we continue in the faith, keeping all this that we've been hearing, the big picture may be missed. And the big picture is incomparable with whatever it is that we are feeling now, whatever fun we may think we are having. Because no matter how much fun we are having, at the back of our minds, like 3 days to go back to that work again, 2 days to go back to that terrible traffic again. Landlords may be waiting there, so many bills to be paid, so it's constantly at the back of our mind. picture is completely incomparable. So whatever it is that we are enjoying now, whatever it is that we are feeling now, is not, I can't even compare with what the glory that awaits us. And we should know that it is with our own hands. God has given us the grace. It is with our own hands that we have to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling in order to get that glorious picture, a glorious future that awaits us. We should know that it is very, very important to keep the big picture at the back of our mind. Just like we walk towards the whole year, saving up our second tithe and planning for the feast, we should live our lives planning for that time. That is my message. But again, like Mr. Akimbo, I will go to sit down, but I'll probably get more beating. So I'm still going to be here for a while. Let us start from Leviticus 23, please. Let's start Leviticus 23, where we were admonished, where we were commanded. Verse 33. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the feast of Tabernacles for 7 days to the Lord. On the 4th day there shall be holy convocation. You shall do no customary work in it. For 7 days you shall offer an offering made by fire to the Lord. And on the 8th day is the great 8th day. You shall have a holy convocation, and you shall offer an offering made by fire to the Lord. It is a sacred assembly, and you shall do no customary work on it. For 7 days, the feast of Tabernacles is 7 days. The 8th one is the 8th great day." I'm getting there. Turn with me, please, to Acts 3. Turn with me to Acts 3. Because as we go through 12 months in a year, we all know at the back of our mind that even if you can't get a vacation, if you can't get to take ourselves out of our works, we know that there's a particular 8th day that we will have time to do both physical and spiritual rejuvenation, refreshing from all the stresses that we go through on our daily lives. Acts 3:19. Acts 3:19. Repent therefore and be converted, that your sins may be blotted out, so that times of refreshing may come from the presence of the Lord, and that he may send Jesus Christ, who was preached to you before, 21, whom heaven must receive until the times of restoration of all things, which God has spoken by the mouth of all his holy prophets since the world began. Now, what is this time of refreshing, and what is this time of restoration? It is a part of God's plan. Like I said, we start from Passover, days of unleavened bread, and then we go all the way to Pentecost, and then trumpets, atonement, Feast of the Tabernacles, and then we go back to the last great day, the 8th day, and then the cycle starts again. Each and every single one of them has their own function. But the Feast of the Tabernacles is that refreshing and restoration referred to in Acts 3 there. This feast was kick-started, or is usually kick-started, by the return of Jesus Christ, which is pictured by the Feast of Trumpets, which we had a couple of weeks ago. And then subsequent banishing of Satan, pictured at the Day of Atonement, where we are expected, where we usually do afflict our souls, and we try to atone ourselves, and Christ has atoned us to God. Those two feasts are the foundation for restoration of peace and harmony with God. So the 7th-day feast of the Bible starts with a holy day, like we read in Leviticus 23, and pictures 1,000-year reign as we had in the first have the first split sermon. It pictures 1,000-year reign of Jesus Christ, which is the millennium, there on earth, at his second coming. At his second coming. And we are to reign with him. By his grace, we shall reign with him. Turn to Revelations 20, please. Revelations 20. Revelations 20. And I saw thrones. Revelations 24. Revelations 20 verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat on them, and judgment was committed to them. And I saw the souls of those who had been beheaded for their witness to Jesus and for the word of God, who had not worshipped the beast or his image, and had not received his mark on their foreheads or on their hands. And they lived and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years. They lived and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years. This, brethren, is the big picture. This is the big picture of the Feast of Tabernacles. The feast, also referred to as Feast of Ingathering, celebrates great harvest of humanity when all people will learn of God's way. In Isaiah 30:21, I'm not going to turn there. You see that you will see your teachers. Because then you will see your teachers, and then all the words will be spoken to us. You will be walking, and then you will hear it. This is the way walking is. In those days, Isaiah prophesied this restoration in Isaiah 2. Let's turn to Isaiah 2. Isaiah chapter 2. Starting from verse 1. The word of Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. Now it shall come to pass in the latter days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established on the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, as we had in Mr. Akimo's message, the mountain of the Lord. And all nations shall flow to it. Many people shall come and say, Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob. He will teach us his ways, and we shall walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. This shall fill the earth. Everybody will have the opportunity to learn of God's laws. He shall judge between the nations and rebuke many people. They shall beat their swords into plowshares. All this, whenever I read this, what comes to mind is their swords shall be beat to plowshares. So, what happens to all those hammer tanks, all those jet fighters? What happens to all those atomic bombs, all those very deadly weapon of mass destruction? One way or the other, they will be converted to something positive. Interestingly, what is used for the atomic bomb, uranium, is also used to generate electricity. So there are positive use of all these things, there are negative uses. But man, humanity, being who we are, we prefer to go with the negative one. But when Christ returns, all those negative things will become positive. All their swords shall be beat into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nations shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. There won't be any need to learn war, because there will be peace everywhere. There will be incomparable peace. There will be beauty. There will be plenty. Upon his return, Christ will bring the entire creation into harmony with God. There will be a need for it, because fine, from the beginning, God created everything so beautiful. and then He created men. And in one way or the other, men fell short of the glory of God when they decided to go their own way. And what happened? We started destroying all those things that God created by our own actions. You see ozone depletion, ozone layer depletion, and you see gas flaring everywhere. You see dumping of toxic waste in the ocean. You see wildlife being destroyed. All those things that when you see they are usually very beautiful has been destroyed by man. Some places are uninhabitable. We hear of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, where bomb was detonated, and years later, people are still getting the effects. Humans have tendency for continuous destruction of the building thing God has created. But during this time, all those things will be turned around and will become positive. It will be beautiful, brethren. It will be extremely glorious. It will be wonderful. It will be a fantastic time. It is a time to be looked out for. It is a time to be meditated upon. It is a time that should be at the back of our mind and should continuously and constantly look forward to. It is a time when we will change from carnal to spiritual. As we see in Ezekiel 26, 27, we're going to turn there. People will obey God from their hearts. Interest of others will take preeminence over our own personal interest. People will become less selfish. As we see today, people are inherently and continuously self-centered. If someone is trying to be nice to you, the first that comes to your mind is, okay, where is it going? What does he have at the back of his mind? Because ultimately you know that, okay, maybe this person is trying to scam me. He's trying to cheat me by deceiving me, by faking being nice to me. Humans generally are inherently selfish. But at this time, people will be seen to be self-centered and they'll be selfish. The world will be at peace with God. Turn you into Micah. I'm going to say Malachi and Micah. Sorry. Micah 4. Which pictures, there are so many scriptures in the Bible that paint this picture of this 1,000 years of reign of Christ. Micah 4 verse 1. Now it shall come to pass in the latter days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established on the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and people, all the people of the earth, shall flow to it. Many nations shall come and say, come, let us go up unto the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob. He will teach us his ways, and we shall walk in his paths. For out of Zion the Lord shall go forth. Everywhere in the whole world, the Lord will be present. Everywhere, as in everywhere in the truest sense of it, of the whole world, including the remote areas where herbalists and cannibals are, where we have all these gays and all sorts of things. Well, in Nigeria, I'm permitted to say it, in some countries, you can't say that. It will be taken as hate speech. That's part of the decadence we're talking about. Everywhere in the whole world, the word of the Lord shall go to those places. He shall judge, verse 3, between many peoples, and rebuke strong nations afar off. They shall beat their swords again into plowshares, and their spears into chronicles. Nation shall not lift up sword against nations, neither shall they learn war no more. We also read this in Isaiah 2:4, like I read earlier. During this 1,000-year period, God will change nature of everything, including wild animals, which is the picture we have here, standing in front of us here. And this will add to the total peace. Turn to Isaiah 11 for this. Isaiah chapter 11. While going to get pure water this morning. As we were driving back, we saw a chameleon crossing the road. So we parked, picked the chameleon. Before we picked the chameleon, I looked at it. I was the one. I did this. I looked at it. I was scared to touch the chameleon. Just the chameleon. So I picked a rag from the vehicle and used the rag to pick it. And then when we came here, one of our brothers asked me, can I touch it? And we were like, I don't know. Is it harmful? So many stories. Oh, maybe it secretes from some dangerous or poisonous glands on the skin and all that. Just a chameleon. And we see snakes, deadly scorpions, deadly spiders, deadly animals. But in our world, she will be able to play with all of them. She will be able to go around without fear. Let's read Isaiah 11, 1-9. They shall come forth a rod from the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of the roots. The Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge, and of the fear of the Lord. His delight is in the fear of the Lord, and he shall not judge by the sight of his eyes, nor decide by the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness he shall judge the poor, and decide with equity for the meek of the earth. He shall strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips he shall slay the wicked. Righteousness shall be the belt of his loins, and faithfulness the belt of his waist. Now, verse 6. This is my of importance to us. Yeah. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb. This currently is almost absolutely impossible if we are like me, see Nigeria, where we see all these animal kingdom and how they relate with each other. You know that it's absolutely impossible for a wolf to dwell with a lamb because it's an easy prey, and the wolf will not think twice before pouncing on the lamb and eating it off. The leopard shall lie down with a young goat. Another impossible scenario, but this will happen. And a calf, and a young lion, and a fatling together, and a little child shall lead them, and a cow and a bear shall graze. Their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. The nursing child shall play by the cobra's hole, and a weaned child shall put his hand in a viper's den, and they shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountains. For the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord as the water covers the sea. Let's take a moment and pause and try and picture this. Let's try and picture this. Because currently the only place that all those things happen that were right here is in the cartoon world. It's only in the cartoon that you see a lion and goats playing their best of friends. In reality, it hardly happens. It's not impossible. God will heal all infirmities, both physical and otherwise. He will heal everything, every form of pain, every form of sickness that we could be feeling, that will have been felt, that seems to be impossible to be healed. God will heal everything. The same Isaiah, let's come forward to chapter 35. And let's start from verse 1. This is a glorious world that awaits us. Isaiah 35, verse 1. The wilderness and the wasteland shall be glad for them, and the desert shall rejoice, and blossom as the rose. It shall blossom abundantly and rejoice. Even with joy and singing, the glory of Lebanon shall be given to it. The excellence of Carmel and Sharon, they shall share the glory of the Lord, the excellency of our God. Strengthen the weak hands and make firm the feeble knees. Verse 4. Say to those who are faithful-hearted, be strong, do not fear. Behold, your God will come with vengeance, with the recompense of God. He will come and save you. Verse 5. Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped. Then the lame shall leap like a deer, and the tongue of the dumb will sing. For waters shall burst forth in wilderness. When I read this part of the tongue, the dumb will sing. I wonder if there will be any need for sign language there again. Because everybody will be able to sing, everybody will be able to hear. For water shall burst forth in the wilderness, and streams in the deserts. The parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land spring forth of water. In the habitation of jackals, where each lay, there shall be grass with reeds and rushes. The highway shall be there, and the road, and it shall be called the highway of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it, but it shall be for others. Whoever walks the road, although a fool, shall not go astray. No lion shall be there, nor shall any ravenous beast go up on it. It shall be found there, but the redeemed shall walk there. And the ransom of the Lord shall return, and come to Zion with singing, with everlasting joy on their heart, on their heads. They shall obtain joy, they shall obtain gladness, and sorrow, and sighing shall flee away forever, for 1,000 years. Sorrow and weeping shall be no more. God will heal all forms of infirmities. All those we have seen, all those we've seen in the past, all those we see that has one health issue or the other, are fighting to survive, that have cancer, that has blood issues, that has all forms of sickness, everything will be wiped away. There will be no single sickness again. Even common cold or malaria, even normal vaccine, will be no more. We will be all strong. We will be all healed and healthy. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it glorious? What God has in store for us. Hunger will be no more. There are many need to eat more than possible. Like, let's not go there. There are many needs to feel our hunger. There shall be no more hunger. And this is in Amos 9. If you go turn there, Amos 9:13. Amos 9:13. There will be no hunger. Why will there be hunger? Because why will there be hunger? There can't be hunger because even there's too much food around. Too much to go around, and still there will be several leftovers. If we know what hunger is, if we have experienced it before, this is somewhere that will brighten us. I've seen hunger. It is true name. And I'm sure some of us have seen hunger in the past. I see some people look at some war-torn zones. If you want to understand this, just go to the internet, see what war is. There was a time I saw a documentary, and it was about the Holocaust. We were so hungry that for days, nothing to eat. And the story, that particular story goes that the man eventually somehow stumbled upon a place where you see cabbage, and the store inside the cabbage, there's this store inside the cabbage that is covered. Once you cut all the leaves, you will see that particular one. He saw it, and it was like the best meal ever. You can imagine. People killing lizards to eat. Anything, toads, frog, cockroach, just to keep alive. That's the definition of hunger. But in this world that we are saying, all these things will be no more. God has been faithful to us. No matter how bad we complain, no matter how terrible the thing the time is, we've not been too hungry to the point of desperation, to the point of doing things that is unimaginable. But in this world to come that is preparing for us, all sorts of things will not even exist anyway. Again, Amos 9:13. Behold, the days are coming, says the Lord, when the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes, him who sows seed. The mountains shall drip with sweet wine, and all the hills shall flow to it. All the hills shall flow to it. Everybody will have more than enough to go around. Brethren, this is the setting God has prepared for us, like setting of the play. You and I, however, are major players. He has called us out because He wants us to be a part of this. And through His grace, we will be part of it in that era. Revelation 5, to say this. He has made the settings. He has revealed this to us. A lot of people don't see this. They thought, usually think there's one heaven that they are going to. All these things I'm painting are here on earth. When we are to rule with Christ, when we rule with Him, when we reign with Him, we will experience all these beautiful states that some people have termed to be utopia, something that is impossible. Revelation 5, 9 to 10. And they sang a new song saying, you are worthy to take, Revelation 5, 9 to 10. You are worthy to take the scroll and to open the seals. For you were slain and have redeemed us to God by your blood. Out of every tribe, out of every tongue, out of every people, out of every nation. You have made us kings and priests to our God, and we shall reign on the earth. We shall reign here on the earth in Christ, irrespective of whatever tribe we say we are from. Be it anything you can think of, Calabar, Igbo, Shekiri, anyone. We shall be one before our God. He has not limited us to tribes. If He had limited us to tribes, then all of us would probably not be there. He has opened it to us, and He has prepared all these beautiful, glorious things for us to enjoy with Him, to reign with Him. For what? 1,000 years. This is the picture. This is what we try, what God has said that we should do year in, year out for 7 days to remind ourselves of. This is not the end. It's a means to an end. And as long as we are alive, as long as we are capable, we are expected to continue doing this year in, year out, so that we will continue seeing at the back of our mind, in case we forget, that there's something that awaits us. There's a glorious time that is ahead of us. Brethren, like I said earlier, the feast is not a vacation. It is not. On the contrary, it is more than a vacation. It is more than a vacation. It's a tiny representation, a very little tiny representation of a beautiful world tomorrow that God has prepared for us. A world absolutely, totally incomparable to the little zone we have created for ourselves. A world that is unimaginable because it is beyond our human comprehension. Oh, some of us, like we had Mr. Kimbo, have the opportunity to go to some other clients and all that, and then you see like, wow, this is beautiful. Recently, I had the opportunity to travel, and before then, I went to an African country. I went to Ghana, and I saw the airports just like Nigeria. I figured, well, not that bad. Until I went to other countries where things are working, and each time I'm coming back, the means are playing dodgy ground. I'm like, oh. I don't have a choice. This is my home. Even from the wrong way, particularly when it's night. If you are landing in other countries, particularly Europe or Asia at night, and you see the beautiful setting, like, wow, this is beautiful. And even the wrong way, line up with different colors of lights, and you'll be like, what is going on? But here, In Nigeria, even on the runway, you feel some gallop. You're now entering the airport. There's this stench that hits you, and there is heat. People that are coming from the plane, by the time they get here, you see them removing their jacket because definitely no AC, no cooling system in the airport. And when you will see men of the immigration, like, okay, where they come from? They say break up for us. Unlike in other countries, where everybody is willing to help you, they are doing their jobs, and they are looking so smart, and you see building, you see road, you see structures, and you're like, wow, how can't we see this? It is beautiful in some places, really. It is beautiful, really. It is. And each time I had the opportunity to go and come back, I became more convinced that 100 years down the line, I don't see how Nigeria can get close to these places. Well, I may be pessimistic, but there's nothing impossible for God. My point is this: when you look at all these beautiful places, it's like everything. They have it all. But unfortunately, brethren, they don't. God has blessed us again in this Nigeria with all other resources except leadership resources. We have everything we want. We have it. We have manpower, we have natural resources, we have land mass. And unlike all these other countries, we don't have hurricane, we don't have tsunami, we don't have drought, we don't have famine, we don't have all those things. And interestingly, we don't have hurricanes that somehow, I don't know how they get the names. You hear Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Matthew, Hurricane Joel. You hear Hurricane something. I keep asking myself, how do they come by these names? But either of those names, we don't feel them in this Nigeria, which means that as we have our own side things that we are battling here, they have it everywhere in the whole world. We don't carry guns around here. We don't get to shoot everybody, just go to the park and start shooting. All those things we don't have it here. Even if we think that we have some things that is not working well with us, every other places that they put and put have it all, they have their own things so that they are battling. My point is this: there is nowhere currently that is perfect. There are one forms of problem or the other. But God has prepared a place for us that is beyond human comprehension. It is so wonderful that we can't even imagine it. 1 Corinthians 2. 1 Corinthians 2, please. 1 Corinthians 2, verse 9. But as it is written, eyes has not seen, nor ear heard, nor have entered into the hearts of man the things which God has prepared for those who love Him. Those who love Him, meaning those who have chosen to continue with what He does. Those He has called out, those He has shown His way, those who are there and decide to continue to be there. He has called us out through different ways. He has called us to His glorious family. He has called us to be part of this beautiful congregation. He has called us and He has named us as part of His family. I'm sure if you hear, and the way He works, we really don't, it's beyond us. I'm sure you will hear several stories how we got here. Some of us are fortunate enough that our parents are in the church and we were born in the church. Some of us, somehow have been called into being part of the church. I hear recently of a particular place, and it's a country where they don't speak English. It's not an English-speaking country. And a woman is usually called to interpret for the English people there, those that don't hear the particular language. So the woman will come and interpret from English, from the language to English to them, and then English to their language, as the case may be. And then at some point, the woman got the message and became a member of the church. Not only her, in the process, even her husband became a member of the church. Her entire family are currently in the church. Who will need an interpreter? Just listen and interpret. We'll get the message. There are so many of us that we just pick the magazine from the dustbin and then we read it, and then our interest, God has just implanted that sin in our hearts. And then you just get through. You can't just have enough of it. And then lo and behold, we are here. God has called us out of several ways into a ship. He has called us before the beginning of the time. As we read in 2 Timothy 1:9, we're going to turn there, into a ship. Into a ship, a special ship. Okay, let's read 1 Peter 2:9. 1 Peter 2. He has called us out. He has called us to be a part of his family. Because, verse 9, you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, his own special people, that you may proclaim the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. Once you were not a people, but are now the people of God, who had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. God has called us out into a special ship. And our citizenship is not here on earth. As we read in Philippians 3:17-21. Philippians 3:17-21. I'm going to turn there. Our citizenship is not of this earth. It's of heaven. Brethren, let us conclude. Turn with me to Revelations 2. Revelations 2. Revelations 2, verse 26. Revelations 2:26. And he who overcomes and keeps my words until the end, to him I will give power over the nations. 27. He shall rule them with a rod of iron. They shall be dashed to pieces like the potter's vessel. And as I also have received from my Father, and I will give him the morning star. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. Let us open our hearts. Let us open our ears and hear these words. We have been called. We have been given this precious, fantastic, wonderful, unimaginable, unthinkable opportunity. It's not easy. And it's not by our own calling. It's not by our own doing. Like we read in 1 Corinthians 1. He has chosen the weak and base things to confound the wise and the mighty. You and I, we are not the professors. It's interesting that we have people that are professorial in their appearance here, but we don't have professors yet. We don't have professors. We don't have senators. We don't have presidents. But God has called us out, and he has chosen us. He has singled us out of the whole world to be a light to the world. Let us try and run this race till the end. Let us keep it at the back of our mind. Each time we come to the feast, that this is not a real picture. This is just a pointer to the picture. The picture is that 1,000 years reign with Christ. How am I working towards it? As I work yearly, save my second tithe, and prepare for the feast, am I doing the same thing for the real 1,000 years reign that will reign with Christ? Or is it just all about feast, coming here and having a vacation? Brethren, to us individually, is a Feast of Tabernacles a vacation? It should go beyond that. Remember Moses erred. He couldn't get to the promised land. Remember the Israelites. They were baptized. They were fed by God. They were given the manna. The manna you and I are being fed now daily, which is the word of God. Yet, they fell by the way. There are several people. Saul was anointed by God. But one way or the other, he refused to listen. He thought he had it all. But at some point, he lost it. There were several members that were in this church together. We were listening together to all these things. We are sitting at this point, these seats, as we are sitting here listening, we are all here together. But one way or the other, if you are not careful, we will fall by the wayside. Let us know that we must continuously take heed lest we fall. Lest we miss out the big picture. Lest we miss out our vision. Brethren, this is our destiny. It is our purpose. It's our reason. It's the reason why we were created. It's our reason for being here. Let us do all we can not to lose this glorious calling and opportunity. The best compared state of humanity can achieve now, can even imagine now, cannot be compared to what God has in store for us. Let us try and strive to keep working out our salvation in fear and trembling. To see this fleeting, passing, temporary pleasure as nothing compared to the glory that awaits us. Let us continue to work hard with fear and trembling, and let us continue to make our calling and election sure. Let us take the essence of the Feast of Tabernacles to heart. It is more, I'm repeating it for the fourth or fifth time. The Feast of Tabernacles is not a vacation. It goes beyond a vacation. And what will lead you to us? What will lead you to us? If we can enjoy this moment, and in the end, we miss the big picture.